What's going on, YouTube? It's that dude named Dave, and I am back with another video. Before we get started here, click on like, subscribe, and the bell notification below. Why? Because I still need that YouTube algorithm, and I am on the road to 20,000 subscribers. But in this video here, we're going to talk about a professional football player who was accused of something, but did he really do it? I say let's open discussion right now. Let's get into it.
We begin tonight with breaking news. The Buffalo Bills' new punter is named in a lawsuit accusing him and two other men of gang. Good evening, everyone. Jackie is off tonight. The accuser's suit says it happened while Matt Araiza was a college football player last year.
And that suit was filed hours ago in a county court in California.
Araiza joined the NFL in April, a sixth-round draft pick. The Bills admit to learning about the allegations in July. He was dropped by the team after the lawsuit went public. Araiza's accuser wonders why his career even got that far.
I can't put into words how upsetting it was when I've been facing the consequences for his actions.
No criminal charges have been filed.
Several months later.
Former San Diego State and Buffalo Bills punter Matt Araiza says his life is on hold after allegations of and a civil lawsuit was filed against him. Araiza has always denied his involvement in that alleged at a 2021 party, and now new evidence from prosecutors show he left the party an hour before the assault happened.
It came back up again recently because of this 220-page transcript in which prosecutors explained to the alleged victim that Araiza had left the party at which the alleged gang occurred an hour before it happened. So that has created a firestorm of its own.
Yeah, right.
Now, let's talk about that for a few seconds here. He is accused of something very, very heinous. And the woman came out saying that he should have even got this far. He should have even had a career. He should have been drafted in the 6th round here. But evidence is coming out that he left this party an hour before these things, these bad acts occurred by other people. Oh, come on now, people. We're going to have to deep dive this here. How somebody can be accused of something, they're not even there, and their whole life is ruined. Let's hear more about this.
Right. This guy got railroaded.
Right.
This guy shouldn't have been cut.
Yeah.
This guy should still be in the NFL.
23-year-old San Diego State football star Matt Araiza had the world and the NFL at his fingertips. Nicknamed the punt god, Araiza was drafted in the 6th round by the Buffalo Bills in 2022. But that all came crashing down when he was accused in the gang of a 17-year-old girl at an SDSU house party. Though these were just allegations, the Bills cut him from the team just days later. Prosecutors in the case declined to press charges. Matt was never charged. A series of video clips of the alleged gang do not show Araiza, as he was not even present during the incident. But apparently, none of that matters. Not the evidence, not the lack thereof, nothing. Because in this era of cancel culture and believe all women, an accusation is enough to ruin someone, their life, and their future.
So this NFL star lost everything because a woman lied, and he wasn't even there. Wow. All right, people, get ready, because today we're talking about this wild story featuring the punt god, Matt Araiza.
He's the punt
He's
god
accused
now?
of doing horrible things to a woman,
Wow.
but now that all the evidence has come out, he's been totally exonerated, but still can't get a job in the NFL because he was accused. So let's start with the details. Now, I have to heavily censor this because this is YouTube, and the YouTube gods don't allow certain things on the platform, but you'll get a good idea of what the allegations are and what's being alleged. Here you go.
Buffalo Bills punter Matt Araiza is accused of a 17-year-old girl at a Halloween party last
17.
October. According to a lawsuit filed Thursday, the alleged incident happened just 6 months before the Bills drafted him in the 6th round. In the lawsuit, the plaintiff, who is referred to as Jane Doe, says she met Araiza at a party at the residence where he lived. At some point during the party, the lawsuit claims, quote, Araiza then led Doe inside the house and into a bedroom. There were at least 3 other men already in the bedroom. The lawsuit names those 3 men as current or former members of the San Diego State football team. The lawsuit goes on to say she stumbled out of the room, bloody and crying, and immediately told her friends she had been.
Now, I need you to understand, she was alleging that Araiza was in the room during the incident. Here is how ESPN described the allegations.
Then when you hear the details,
The details are extremely disturbing. And I want to say one thing, and I was grateful that you had sent me the CBS News interview because I hadn't seen it. I saw ABC World News prior. Her father spoke out, but the victim obviously speaking out. And Stephen A., obviously I'd read the details in our ESPN article, but seeing the visuals, the bruises all over her legs, the bruises on her neck being held down for 90 minutes. I won't go further into the details. It's a morning show. They're very disturbing, and it's only if people, but a lot of times when we talk about, hey, no one's there, he said, she said, I mean, they have the visual evidence as well.
This is a crazy thing, how ESPN is giving shoddy reporting here. Yes, we have physical evidence. Yes, the acts against this woman is heinous, and she was assaulted. Things that happened to him. The question we have here is, did the right man was accused? Was the right man actually arrested? And the answer is no. Just because we have the receipts, just because we can see the residual effects of the act here, we have to get to the point of who really committed the crime. And fellas, this is the problem we got to deal with here. The fact that you did not even do anything. You didn't commit the act. You didn't commit the crime. You was not even there, but you still can lose everything. It just makes us mindful, fellas, on where we're hanging out, who we're hanging out, where we're at, especially when we got something to lose, because even if you're not there, you can lose it all. Let's continue. Let's hear more about this shoddy reporting.
Listen, he's in trouble. He's in trouble.
Yeah.
Listen, when the district attorney is saying we're looking into this because we did not know, and now that we know this, we're looking into this. He's in a world of trouble because look at that. They didn't happen by accident. They didn't happen by accident. Okay, something happened to that young lady.
Yeah,
and it's clear. And the fact that she is a gang.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah. I mean, we're talking imprisonment.
Yeah.
We're not talking settlement. We're not talking a civil case. A civil case may come with it, but we're talking potential imprisonment. And Matt Araiza, if you're innocent, you're innocent. I don't know. None of us know. We weren't there. But you and whoever you were with and that young lady.
Yeah.
We don't know. But if there's truth to this, you're going to jail.
There actually should be settlement because the fact that Matt Araiza wasn't there. So if he wasn't there, he didn't do it. When we talk about settlement, we're talking about him suing her for a false allegation, suing her because his life is ruined. He should be in the NFL field right now. This happened a year ago, people. We're in a whole NFL new season right now. He should be making a living. He should be out there on Sundays. He should be able to provide for his family what he worked his hard life for. But now that can't happen. You know why? Because of an accusation, he can't step foot on the field here. He can't even get a tryout. Do you see how unfair this for men here? The fact is saying we don't need a settlement. No, his life is ruined now. He can't even get a job right now. So settlement should be on the table. But more importantly, the NFL need to do what's right here. The NFL needs to say, you know what, though? You got railroad here. Let's give teams, give him a shot here. But that's not happening here. So we can see the shot report by Stephen A. You're enthusiastic. You're crazy. It's saying, look, this is jail time. Yeah, there's jail time for the people who did it. Let's continue.
Buffalo Bills then fired Matt Araiza from the team, and the media demanded it. His life was put on hold, and remember, people, he was totally innocent. It was proven that he wasn't even there when the woman said the alleged assault occurred. Now, police and law enforcement started investigating these serious claims and found a video of the incident.
Oh, wow.
Somebody had actually recorded.
We got video.
Now, the video showed not only that Araiza wasn't there, but that the alleged assault didn't even happen. The woman was a willing participant. Now, after seeing the video, the DA and the police closed the case. They charged no one. Here's what the video showed.
Threefold. One is nowhere in those videotapes will you see Matt Araiza because he wasn't in the room. Secondly, they will depict that the plaintiff was a willing participant in the sexual acts that occurred that evening. And thirdly, it shows that she was not engaging in conduct that would be distressing at the time.
The videos.
Okay, this even gets even worse now, people, because the fact that we're going to say, gang, you know what, for YouTube algorithm here, I don't want this video struck down, but you heard it in that little clip there, right? What ESPN said it here. is not the fact that these acts occurred. She was down for it. She wanted it. She was a willing participant. This was something that wasn't done against her will. The fact that what we probably see what happened is that after the fact, she probably felt guilty about it. She probably felt some type of way saying that she shouldn't have put some situation, even though she wanted to. And now she wants to retaliate and say, these bad things happened to me. This is even worse here right now, because not only did this man ruin his life here, what about the other men who were involved too as well? Because the fact that everybody was willing participants, this should not even hit the news. These are just people who are adults doing what adults do. Now, I know she's 17 years old, so that means that if everybody else was in that party who were of consenting age, then this is a whole nother thing that we're talking about adults doing adult things and not acts of crime being committed here. We got to hear more about this. Let's continue.
Those were obtained by the San Diego Police Department during their investigation. And these are the same videos the district attorney's office reviewed when they decided not to file any criminal charges against any of the players, including former SDSU and Buffalo Bills punter Matt Araiza.
Now, there was another video of the woman at the center of this incident. See, Matt Araiza says that he had consensual sex with this woman that night, but this was hours before the alleged assault. See, after the video came out showing that Araiza wasn't even in the room and had left about an hour earlier, the woman then changed her tune. They are now claiming that, hey, she never claimed that Araiza was involved in a gang assault, even though you've heard all the news media saying that he was. They're now claiming that they're suing Matt Araiza under a theory of statutory blank.
And the bottom line is my client has said from day one, she went to the police right away and said it was Matt Araiza that led me from the side yard into the room. And then she never alleged that she never alleged that, never said that in the complaint, never said that in the police report that he was part of the game. We were very careful of that. What she said was he led her to the room, and then when she got into the room, she was shoved from behind onto the bed. That's been her allegation from the very beginning.
Am I missing where there was any clarification done from your side when he was being accused of all over the place to say, hey, we're not the ones accusing him?
Okay, there's a thing called statutory, right? And there's a thing called by intoxication. And then there's a thing called forcible. So, Mr. Araiza has already admitted to having sex with this young woman, 17 years old, on the side yard. He actually went on TV yesterday and admitted it. He was admitting it slowly through his attorneys, dating back a few months. But when you're 21 years old and the girl is 17 years old, that's a felony. It's called felony statutory. And in statutory, consent is not an issue.
Now, there's a problem with even this. See, in California, the prosecution needs to prove that Matt Araiza knew or should have known that the victim, the alleged victim, was 17 and not 18. So this is the way it works in California. Let's say you go to a nightclub, and in that nightclub, they only allow adults in, people who are over the age of 21. Well, in that case, if you meet someone and have sex with someone that you met inside that nightclub, the law presumes that a reasonable person would think that everybody in there was over the age of 18, right? So even if you were to have sex with someone and then find out later that they're only 17, then you didn't have the requisite mental state. There was no way you could have known or should have known that that person was under the age of 18. Now, we can flip that and say, if this was a high school party, well, then at a high school party, you're more likely to meet people who are under the age of 18. And you couldn't use that excuse that, hey, I didn't know, because the law would say, well, you should have known this could happen. And you could be held criminally responsible for statutory blank. Now, in this case, they were at a college party, and the woman claims that she told everyone at the party she was 17, and everyone knew it. But the video of the incident and all the witnesses at the party say that no, the woman was telling everyone that she was 18. And more evidence came out that the woman was going around telling people she was actually 18 years old. Here's a video from a party the day before, and listen specifically to what this woman is telling people her age is.
Okay, because I've seen this YouTube video of her that was recorded the night before at a completely different party where she's telling people she's 18. She's going into very graphic details about her past sexual encounters. Have you seen that video?
I have, yes, sir.
Is that the way she was acting the night you met her?
No, more contained for sure. That video is pretty wild.
My body counts over 20. I'm only 18.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
My first body is like 15.
Like, how old were you?
14. I'm only 18.
Over 20?
I mean, I ate somebody's ass before, but that's only because they wanted it.
Now, along with
okay, tribe. Now we're seeing so much here. See, I hate this for the women out here who really go through bad situations here, but this is why we should never say believe all women. You know why? It gives people an out who do something bad to say they're going to believe me anyway. Because think about it. Even the most competent person, the most trustworthy person, if they knew they had an ace in the card that says believe all black men, you think that if something happened to me and I got in a bad situation, even though it wasn't my fault or things could have looked a hairy situation, I'm going to pull that trump card out. Like, look, please believe me, believe all black men, because that's the trope, right? The same thing here for the ladies here. We're always saying believe women because assault does happen. But what happens when you have women like this here, a girl like this here who was lying? Clearly lying, the video evidence that she's lying. And on top of that too, she is verbally saying things that she's living a lifestyle that's not somebody who's going to be trustworthy. You heard what she said about the things she was doing at 14, 15 years old. You may say, hey, that dude, she was drinking. She's under the age, but she is a girl who was going to adult parties, representing herself as an adult and then talking blazingly about adult activities. So what is another person to think when you're in that environment? You're going to think that, hey, she's also a college student. Yes, she's saying she's 18. So she is, of the legal consent here. She's in college, legal consent. And then she's always talking about her other sexual exploits. So a man's supposed to say, okay, let me do some more investigating. Can I see your license? Can I see how old you are? Can I talk to your friends? Can your friends vouch you're over 18 years old? That's going above and beyond the call of duty because the average person doesn't do that. So now we're seeing not only that this man's life was ruined, his life was ruined over a person who was constantly habitually lying. Oh boy, let's hear a little bit more about the story, guys.
Along with all the witnesses, even her friends claiming that she told everyone she was 18, the DA's office cleared Ariza of any statutory charges. Now, the story gets even crazier. This woman is now doing media claiming that she's happy that Ariza was cut. She's happy that he lost his job. Remember, he wasn't even there, and the video refutes her claims. Matter of fact, she now claims that he wasn't there, and she never said he was there. But listen to her talk about how she's happy that he was fired from all his jobs. Wow.
Let's hear this,
even though she knows that he's innocent of the claims.
Matt getting cut from the team definitely was a boost for me. I was really starting to feel hopeless.
Ariza's accuser speaking out in her first ever TV interview with our sister station in San Diego, saying she feels Ariza should have never made it to an NFL team given the serious accusations against him.
Of course, I do wish that something was done sooner. I wish that he was never drafted, but that is just how it is. I'm trying to be as understanding as possible.
Understanding? So, this woman claims she was assaulted. The media took these allegations and demanded that this man be fired. Ariza always claimed that this was a money play, and I believe she was after his money. But when the story first came out, the sports media took the woman's side and said, of course she's not after his money. Matter of fact, listen to their reasons why.
And the authorities in San Diego, apparently the detectives in the case, according to the LA Times, just recently handed their evidence to authorities in Southern California to decide whether charges need to be filed against Matt Ariza, who denies this through his lawyer, who said that the individual in the case, he inferred it's a money play, which is interesting because usually money plays are not involving third-round drafted punters in the NFL. And certainly money plays don't usually occur when somebody goes to the police the day after the incident, as the civil lawsuit lays out and the Los Angeles Times has reported. So based on everything that I am seeing, the Bills who are playing tonight with Ariza on the team, I don't know what their recourse is other than to sit him down for sure for the time being while this is playing out. And cutting him sounds like a pretty damn good idea too, but I don't have all the facts in the case right now, but I wanted to just say what I'm thinking and feeling reading this. Outrage isn't just as a father and a human on the planet, and then gobsmacked and absolutely gutted, and then also embarrassed that we had him part of our NIL deal.
And just this is crazy here, guys. He literally just said, I don't have all the facts, but we should cut him. Make that make sense here. Before we got to that point here, she even stated, we're knowing the facts. She know that he wasn't there an hour before the incident happened. And in that incident, it was not an act. She was, the video evidence showed differently here. Everything is coming out showing that this man was not involved. And then here she's saying, I am happy this happened to him. Fellas, what are we to do here? We are not at the scene of the crime. We didn't do anything. There was no crime to begin with. We lose our jobs. And you know what happens? People like this woman says, I'm happy he lost his job. He should never have gotten a job. He should never have been drafted. He should never had a career. So what are we to do, fellas, when people who are this despising against us, they don't want to see us win? We don't have to do anything wrong, but just exist, just breathe, and people want to see our downfall. So what do we got to do here? What we have to do is not put, unfortunately, we can't put ourselves in situations that we have something to lose. I get it. When you're young or you have things going on for yourself, you want to enjoy the spoils of your hard work, whether you're in a career, you got your raise, you got a promotion, you got a bonus, you're making 6 figures, you're a CEO, or you're an athlete, whatever it is, to the fact that you have made it to prominence. Just because that you got the money to spend or you have the stature doesn't mean that we are bulletproof. It doesn't mean that we can go anywhere and just live our life here. You know why? People are jealous of us. People don't want to see us win, especially women who know they can't get access to us, especially the women who live promiscuous lifestyles, who are for show and not for go, who are RUO, recreational use only, women who are about a good time but not a long time. And then you go ahead and engage in these acts, which is not illegal, but then the next day they feel a certain type of way because they want your lifestyle. They want to be treated a certain type of way, even though that they are over-sexualizing themselves here. So you know what happens, fellas? You think you had a good night last night. You went ahead and, of course, you used protection. She was down for it. It was consensual. But you know what? The next day, she feels guilty about it, and now it's no longer consensual. You lose your house, your job, your family, everybody over a false allegation. So what do we got to do? If we got something to lose, we can't be hanging around people who has something to lose. It's all right to have a good time, but have a good time with people who know that they got your interest in heart, who also has something to lose. Do not engage in acts of women knowing that they can come back and say anything against you. I know it's easier said than done, but what is the result here? You go ahead, live your life, do what you want to do, kick it, mess with women here, enjoy the spoils here, and then get this allegation and be like this man here. He didn't do anything wrong. He did not do anything wrong, but be at the wrong place at the wrong time here. So fellas, what are you going to do? Are you going to make sure you practice exercise and judgment here? You may not got to be an NFL punter. You could be someone with a good job, a good title, making good money, driving a good job, driving a good car, and you have money saved in the bank here, and you're on your way to new heights and directions. But there's a woman in your past or someone currently who wants what you have here. They don't want to work for it. They want to get it the easy way. They don't know how to be 10 toes down. So we have to separate ourselves from the mind state of these women, men and women, guys, because you never know that the guy that you're next to as well wants what you have and will say things or set you up in this case here. So let's be mindful. Let's be smart. You got something to lose. Do not hang around people who want to see you downfall or take it from you. Be around people who know they got your best interest in heart. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber and I just say a few things on here. So you know what I want to hear? I want to open up discussion here. Comment, like, subscribe, and click on that bell notification below. Let me know anything about my commentary, but more importantly, I want to know what you think about this case here and about situations where that you may not have done the crime. You may not even been there. And on top of that too, there may not have even been a crime, but people will say you're guilty, lose your job, lose everything, and you're the horrible person. I want to know your thoughts here. But until next time, tribe, I'm that dude named Dave. See y'all later, YouTube world.